Newcastle fans, you are not happy at all because as it stands right now, Sesko has decided to join Manchester United. I actually didn't think this would be happening right now, but as I scroll through my feed, that's all I'm seeing. Newcastle have had the summer of nightmares, as one football said. Benjamin Sesko has become the latest player to turn down a potential move to the Toon side. Can you imagine that? As Newcastle fans, how do you guys feel? The fact that you've missed out on so many players. The only players that you've managed to bring in, Anthony Elanga, Aaron Ramsdale as well. Sorry, I don't know why I butchered his name like that. But the players that you missed out on, goalkeeper Trafford, you got Hugo Ekitike, Sesko, João Pedro, Liam Delap, Cunha, Brian Mbemo, and Dean Hughson. This could be probably one of the worst transfer windows I've seen for one club. And it goes to show you the pulling power or the lack of pulling power that Newcastle have or don't have compared to the big giants. And as much as Man United obviously have been doing so poorly in the league, finishing 16th, 17th, whatever, not winning any cups, struggling under a new manager, they're still able to bring in certain names into the club, whereas Newcastle are non-existent, absolutely non-existent. So yeah, that seems to be the main talking point. Man United just paid over 80 mil for Rasmus Højlund in the summer of 23. 2 years later, they bid 85 mil for Sesko. What will happen to Rasmus Højlund now? That is the big question. Is it that they've brought in Sesko or they're bringing in Sesko and Højlund is kind of playing second fiddle, or they're going to be playing two up top? Depends. Is it going to change Amarin's whole playing style for Man United? Either way, Benjamin Sesko, as Saeed said.
Benjamin Sesko.
So
in the process, I said Benjamin Sesko.
Look at that. Look, it's funny how karma can come back and hit you in the face. That's corrected much. Let's see. So there's a reason Man United and Newcastle both want Sesko so badly. Let's see. Top scorers aged under 23. Sesko 39, Jude Bellingham 38, Florian Wirtz, Liverpool is at Liverpool now 34, Jamal Musiala with that horrible injury 33. You know what it is actually? Isn't it funny how now the media and Man United fans now will change the narrative and say because they've managed to get Sesko, they're now going to go on and win the league. However, when Arsenal was tied or was linked to this player, they were saying he's not going to cut it. He wouldn't be able to cut it. He's not good enough. Isn't that funny? I always find that quite strange. But hey, we move. Which player once linked to your club, but the transfer never happened and still hurts? Who is that? Wow. Oh, yeah, 100%. He was a baller. De Zerbi, let's see. Roberto De Zerbi confronts Jonathan Rowe after the England under-21 winger missed the spot kick. Why is there so much heat on this player and De Zerbi? You don't need to say it because you made fewer mistakes than me. Fair enough. Yeah, there's a lot of heat going on with that player. Let's see. When you go from Isaac to Ekitike to Sesko to Nicholas Jackson in the space of 2 weeks. Man United fans are going to be all over the timeline for the rest of the week. So the opinion is, don't underestimate Man United. Don't be surprised if Ineos pull off a deal for Baleba, who I said that Man United need to invest in a midfielder, a strong number 6 midfielder. Baleba is probably the next one that would be on my list if I was them. Everything's looking possible for United and the rivals are absolutely rattled. Actually, you know what? I was just thinking as well, in the transfer news I think I've done with DR Sports, I spoke about the level of striker that Man United are usually tied to. And I think people were kind of shooting me down because I was saying that I don't believe Ollie Watkins or any of those players should be tied to a Man United with such the stature of the club, the history, etc. They've always gone for the best of the best. So why are they not aiming for the best? So it's good to see that they're actually listening to me or they're following suit in terms of their history. Liverpool have reached an agreement with Al Hilal for the sale of Darwin Núñez. Listen, when you look at Newcastle and you see the business that they've done or haven't done this season, but on the other side, when you look at Liverpool and you see what they've been doing, the financial decisions, the transfers, the transfers in, the transfers out have been they've been excellent. And Darwin Núñez is another addition. They managed to get this done, which is more or less over the window, over the line. That's what, 80 mil in the bank for them? That's fantastic for the Liverpool again. So it's like they've hardly spent any money. Alright, let's have a look. No excuses. Yeah, it's true. For a lot of the Man United fans, at the end of the day, this season there are no excuses, and that is by the words of your captain, or former captain, Harry Maguire. So it'll be interesting to see how you guys get on this season. Newcastle United have accidentally left defender Matt Target in South Korea. The club discovered he was not on board yesterday's return flight. The club has confirmed he's safe and will board the flight home later today. It just gets from worse to worse for Newcastle. They're even forgetting players. Let's see. Nah, I'm not buying it, people. I'm not buying this. The slander that Arsenal were getting when we was linked to Benjamin Sesko is unforgivable. Is absolutely unforgivable. Now look at you lot. Arsenal tried but couldn't sign him. Newcastle, no, we didn't want to deal with him. Sounds like a diva. General reminder: we finished 15th. Last season, our worst in the Premier League era, but top players still rejecting top clubs in the Champions League to join us when you're big. Let's see, you're going to invest in all these players, and if you lot don't get Champions League next season, questions will be asked. If you haven't already, make sure you're following EBL. Like I say, EBL is probably one of the best analytical minds in the game of football on X. He's phenomenal, and how he breaks down all the teams, the managers, how they set up their tactics. I think he's written out a thread. I haven't had a look through it yet, but I will. Talking about Arsenal, obviously Arsenal, which I just overlooked as well. We have our game today against Villarreal tonight, so that should be an interesting game. Hopefully we'll see the likes of Noni Madueke and Victor Gyökeres, our new signings. Let me know what you guys think of that. Liverpool played yesterday and they looked pretty tidy. They looked very, very good. Again, I think TAC-X is really good as well as the analytical mind. Actually, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this is where I saw it. So EBL was talking about the wide triangles that Liverpool are going to be playing based on the game that they had yesterday. He was looking at Kirk's face in the play, Frimpong high and wide, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai have license to rotate in that the number 6 region in the midfield. Frimpong high means that Salah can play inside. Ekitike likes to kind of drift off to the left, so Wirtz can play as that kind of like false 9. Credit to Arne Slot. He's doing wonders, people. And I think when I looked at Liverpool, I did say Wirtz is going to be the main threat. He is more or less their Coutinho. And then you've got all of this movement from Mohamed Salah. You've got Frimpong, who's more or less road runner on the right hand side. Ekitike is a better or upgraded version, let's say, or could be an upgraded version to Gakpo, but both of them are just as effective. Gravenberch, it's going to be a good season. It's definitely going to be a good season. So yeah, Liverpool's wide triangles: Salah, Wirtz, Frimpong, Gakpo, Szoboszlai, Kirkes. Yeah, it's going to leave a lot of one-on-ones for Salah and a lot of one-on-ones for Frimpong, which they're going to hurt people, they're going to hurt teams. So much quality. So much quality. Yeah, look at that. See, I said Newcastle should be going for Darwin Núñez. Instead, they went big and they went for Sesko. He still didn't come. What else? What else? What else? Human Song obviously left for MLS. His dad, if this is real, is not happy. If he transfers to the MLS, he's no longer my son. I don't believe that's right. I don't believe it is. What else? What else? I think. Oh yeah, I think we'll end with this one, people. I really need a small club. Here, use my Newcastle one. It's the amount of trolling that's going to be over the next few days for Newcastle fans. It's not good. Not good at all, people. Newcastle trying to convince players to come to St. James. They just haven't got it. I think, you know what, in all honesty, they need to invest maybe not only in players, but I think this is where you start looking at Eddie Howe and saying, right, clearly there's not that pull. You see with this certain managers, when you go in, when the players are speaking to these managers, they are convinced by their plans. Eddie Howe doesn't strike me as that type of guy, even though I'm not saying that he's not capable of it. These foreign players are probably looking at him and saying, okay, what have you actually achieved? What have you done? Not only in your playing career, but as a manager, what can you give me? How can you improve me as a player? Yeah. So I just feel like Newcastle are really slacking. But hey, what do I know? Listen, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, like and share the video. Hopefully come out with some more content. Apart from that, peace and love.